Hi, writer's block. This is your writer block, right? A block that you put on the side, because here we're going to figure out a solution to it, so you're not blocked anymore. Hi, writers. If you're new here, hi, I'm Safia. I help writers unblock their stories using intuition, energy, and a little bit of magic mixed with structure, right? So if this video found you today, it probably didn't happen by accident. Maybe you've been stuck and you didn't even know why, and this video popped up randomly, so you know you'll have to work on your villain. Or maybe you clicked because you already know that the villain is at fault. It feels foggy, flat, or hard to access. So either way, you're here and right on time. So I know I know how frustrating it is when a story stalls because a character, in this case the villain, won't tell you what they want. So for me, writing is very intuitive. Even though I absolutely love a good structure and outline. I've made so many outlines, and they tend to change because, again, when the intuition or imagination kicks in, right, it's always a fluid outline that keeps on changing. So I have drafts and drafts of outlines, and I am a plotter, but I can also call myself a pantser because I do let the intuition kicks in when it needs to. So, I think most writers are between plotter and pantser. And as someone who's published stories and even won a grand prize for one, I really believe that intuition is our superpower, right? The writer's superpower. The structure matters, of course, but the intuition is what makes your story feel alive. It's the thread that ties it all together, the sprinkle at the end, right? That makes this story, that makes the reader relate to the story. So, but again, intuition, superpower, but it doesn't just kick in by itself, right? Like, I believe it's a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger and clearer it becomes. So when I can't figure out a character's motive, in this case the villain, I try to think about it, to outline, to make lists. Some people go on walks, or they let the energy flow so they don't keep on thinking about it. Some others meditate. Anything that can help to just unblock the story. But I feel that I have another tool that I'm here to share with you and to help you with it. Because it's really important to pause the thinking mind and let the deeper imagination speak. So that's what we're doing today. I'll be doing it for you, but at the end, you'll get a chance to do it for yourself. So I am a very, very visual person. I just love visual. When I meditate, I see the movie in my head. When I write stories, I also see the movie in my head. So I'm all about visuals, and that's what sparks my imaginations, right? So I use cards. It's the easiest. Like, you can use paintings, any drawings, any form of picture. But for me, the easiest are oracle cards, right, or tarot cards, and I use them to spark this imagination. So I use also the intuition. So for this one, like, I tuned in the energy of your story and my story, and I just got the Enchanted map, like from Colette, Baron-Reid. They are beautiful. Like, I'm not even sorry about that. I'm not even looking at the description book, right? Like, this is to let the intuition kick in. So if you feel really stuck, you can take a peek, but I'll just set it aside. It's all about, training that intuition muscle. So, so we're just going to tune into your energy. Let me just do a clearing. We'll start now. We'll start the process now. So. The energy of this. Sorry if people stay. So we're what is their villain hiding? What do the villain want the writer to understand? So I'm just going to pull a card and just what the villain is hiding for your story, the villain's motive, your story, my story, and we're just going to choose one for the people watching this video. And this is the card that we got. So we have balancing act, and it's the number 11. So something happened when they were 11 years old, maybe, or they've been in jail for 11 years. They have been feeling that they were treated unfairly, and the balancing act. But there is a thread. There is a flying, like bolt. So I'll leave it at the end so you can also tune in. But what I feel when I see this, like the colors also might be important for you. The clouds, balancing act, it says it's sitting on a statue. I just feel the woman, there is, maybe it was their mother, maybe they have a mother's wound that is not solved, and there is a thread with like a small bubble with a boat on top, and it has all the wheels, and it's just managing. So maybe depending on the genre, of course, of your writing, if it's fantasy, you can imagine that I write fantasy and supernatural and paranormal, but it could be for any genre, really. So if you see the women, maybe they lost their fiance on a boat. There was a wreck. Maybe like for the sky, it could also be that they were going somewhere, but they couldn't figure it out because they just lost their way, and they couldn't balance the two lives of being, for example, taking care of the woman that they loved and their work. Maybe they had to travel a lot and they couldn't take care of the woman, and when they came back they couldn't find her anymore. She was gone. So they blamed the society, they blamed the company, they blamed whoever forced them to be apart. The thread could be maybe somebody was a seamstress. There is also petals that we can see that are running. So it's the rose or the flower, the red flower. So they could have been, it just it could feel like a broken heart, a broken hope. And it has a lot of white, so they were pure at the beginning, but something happened again, I'll say it, at 11 years old, where they just felt, where they started seeing, maybe it was the first time that they saw blood. Maybe something happened when they looked at, when they saw their parents fighting, or they had an intruder in the house that just killed somebody in front of their eyes. And it's just this is all, of course, you just keep on trying to figure out something until something sticks, right? But what I'll do, instead of just just thinking out loud or just looking at it and thinking in your mind, what I'll do, and that's the process, is you pull the card, you try to figure out something, right? Like, just start this imagination working, but you also do the automatic writing session. Right. So it's like you can take 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20. So however you feel called to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to see what else wants to come through for your story and the villain in your story. So I'll pause here, write for a moment off camera, and then come back with the message. I'll read it. It won't be pretty because it is automatic writing for the ones that don't know, and I'm sure you already do, but automatic writing is like free writing, intuitive writing, flow writing. So basically you just write without stopping. Even if you don't know what to write, you write exactly that. I don't know what to write. The most important thing is for the pen not to go up the page, and you just keep on writing until you bypass the thinking mind, and what comes is straight from the subconscious or from any guides, whatever you believe in, right? Like, in any spirits, in the muse, right? But you just do it. And as you do it with the hand, writing longhand, that's when it turns on, right? So I'll go do that, and then I'll come back and we'll see what we've got. So here's what came through. Again, not too pretty. So you can take whatever resonates and leave whatever doesn't. Your intuition will know, right? So the villain 11 is not what you think he or she is. Maybe they got hurt deeply as a child, or maybe at 30. It doesn't have to be a childhood that it happens. It could be now. Maybe they never loved, and they resent people that did. Maybe they were not here to be the villain at the first place. Maybe they were supposed to be the protagonist and get all the glory, and their will is to create peace. They see the world as black and white, or white and black, and that's why they prefer statues. It's a statue that made them suffer. They turned their mother or daughter or wife or husband into statues, and the only way to get to the place of the statue is by a thread, the thread of truth, the only one they live by. They hate lies. Lying made their mother leave them uh, and bring people instead of her, and bring other people instead of her. Maybe they were sold when they were little and traveled by boat, and they couldn't come back. And all they saw was the flower their mother gave them on the deck before they left, and its petals playing in the wind and against the white sky. They swore they will form again the rose, and the day they'll find the petals, all the petals, and they'll form the flower again, love will be back. There won't be any separation. They can fix the world. They have the solution if only they would be heard and understood. Um, they live in a castle up north, and the only way to get there is by crossing a bridge, as thin as a thread, and the balancing act will not work, and the truth will allow them to reach the inside of the. Yeah, it would be good if I could read my handwriting, the inside of their word. So if they hate liars, what are they going to do about it? Their mother's lies destroy their happiness, their flowers, so they won't let anyone do it to them again. They're hurt, but they became stone because they thought they can't break that way. But if they knew that a small petal is still there in their heart, actually the last petal they need to form their happiness again, to create their happiness again, is the petal hidden behind their back. It's stuck there. They can't see it until someone, maybe the protagonist, shows them. And then I stopped. But again, if you want to go deeper, I'm going to put the picture of the card at the end of the video, and you can pause there and do your own writing with it. You can let the villain talk, do it like the intuitive writing, automatic writing from the villain's point of view. Start by saying, I am the villain, and that's what I am. This is my confession. They can rant, they can whisper, they can reveal. You'll be really surprised by what comes out when you stop thinking and let the intuition move. So if this helped you unclog something or give you some clarity into your villain's motive, let me know in the comments. I love hearing how these messages land and what you come up with. Also, if you can share, some of your writing after seeing this card, after doing your own automatic writing, we'd love. I'm sure so many other writers would love to see where your imagination and intuition took you. And if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow and reach more writers this way. So remember, you're never blocked, right? You're just invited to go deeper and deeper and awaken your intuition and imagination. And the writer's block stays here in a block. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.